Okay, guys, so good morning and welcome to my episode on the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare non-traversy. It's non-traversy in my humble opinion, because I think that most gamers don't know what they want, even though they say that they do. And I know that that's going to be a controversial thing to say in its own right, but I'm gonna put forward some evidence for that, and then I'll let you guys make your decision. But basically, we're here, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. It's the most recent COD game that I have because I haven't bitten the bullet on Black Ops 3 yet, even though it's looking better and better every day. And maybe I will eventually pull the trigger, but we will have to wait and see what else is all coming out and see if I can make it until Infinite Warfare comes out. And yes, I am going to be buying Infinite Warfare. And today on this episode, I'm going to kind of try to show you guys why that is. So, basically, I'm going to be going into a private match here just to showcase, what we'll be taking a look at. But just so that I can run around, not be distracted, we can take an actual look at things like the level and movement and stuff, and not have to be distracted by other players and whatnot. So I was going through this morning. I was trying to figure out, like, okay, what's a good level that I can take you guys to sort of showcase, like, Call of Duty at its best. And really, like, with this game, the levels are all kind of about the same for me. I kind of feel the same about them. There's nothing really that, like Drift, that's a standout map for me. Sideshow, those are good. Like, if I had to choose maps that I could only play on for the rest of my life, like Perplex is a great design, yeah, but the aesthetics, not exactly. Like I could go one way or another. You could redesign the whole map so that it looks like it was, I don't know, favela in some third world country, and it would still be just as much fun to play on. It's more about the design of the map than anything. Kremlin's a great map. But as I was going through them, this is the only one that I can't even remember what this map looks like. So let's go take a look at it just for fun. It could be good, it could be bad, no idea. You know what I mean? The game mode doesn't matter. My creative classes, I just have like a few basic things that, like, the game started me out with. Let me just put in a few things, like the basic guns. KF5, it's like your MP5 here. We've got a shotgun, 2 shotguns. We've got a crossbow. We've got an SMG. Let's just make that, like, that's a really good SMG in this game, so, or at least that model. And let's make sure that we've got some of the heavy weapons, like the EM1. That was a new one for this game. I think there's also, oh wait, where's the one that looks all cool and splits in half when you reload it? I think it's that one. Yeah, directed energy weapon. Okay, and we got specials. I could show you guys this stuff, but you got, like, if you want to see my favorite revolvers, you can go and watch my most recent episode on Call of Duty. Just go back a few videos on the channel. You can watch some actual gameplay of all that and whatnot. But okay, the most basic rifle in the game, like, your bread and butter, gonna be good for everything. Sniper rifles. Let's pull out something here. Let's pull out, like, this is the grandpappy of all of the sniper rifles. And we got everything covered. I think so, except for maybe sidearms. But we can go there and we can do this. And I'll just pull up what's important. Yeah. Give you guys a cool version of something. I don't know. Do I have one more? No, okay. I can put it on here. We got launchers. I really don't care for them, but you know, they're there. We've got our crossbows. Let's bring out one launcher. Mayhem, that's my favorite one. Use the royalty. Okay. So let's just jump in. Gonna switch up the maps and stuff, but now at least we have some loadouts that we can mess around with. But basically I'm just gonna try to make my case about why I feel this is the superior game. You may not all agree with me, that's fine. You know, different strokes for different folks, you know. But there's a lot of statements that get thrown around every time we come to this time of year where Battlefield and Call of Duty are once again going head to head, and I just want to make my case for like where I stand. So it doesn't matter what team I'm on, you know. And let's start out with our like most basic assault rifle. Oh, and we get a rocket launcher. That's right. Okay, I remember this level now. This actually is a really fun one. I like playing on this map. There's some good hiding spots. Okay, so in our comparison of Black Ops and Call of Duty, the first thing I want to compare is map design and level design. And it's a little bit hard to compare the two because you actually have two completely different game types going on, where most of Battlefield's maps and game types are designed around large-scale battles. Call of Duty is really designed to be like a sports arena, or like a basketball court, a virtual, you know what I mean, competitive zone for players to go up against each other in, right? So it's not really designed to be all like, oh, you know, here's how this is gonna be with, you know, here's your tanks and your airplanes and your warships and your boats and your trains. Looks like there's gonna be in the new game, and that's all super cool. That's stuff that Call of Duty does not do. Okay, I'm not gonna deny that, and that's like score one for Battlefield there, like right off the bat. You can give them that they are trying to create a much larger experience, but when people say that Battlefield has better graphics than Call of Duty, I just kind of have to look at them like they're nuts, because like everywhere you look here, even though this is like by no means like the prettiest rock formation that has ever existed, and like, yeah, this is a crashed ship. Like, how good is a crashed ship supposed to look? Which, that's actually probably giving us some foreshadowing about where we're eventually going with Infinite Warfare. But, like, everything here has a certain level of detail, right? Like, the little, you know, dots and holes on the grating. Like, you know, there's a level of detail that they achieve here that Battlefield doesn't even come close to. Like, here at least, like, they're trying to create something that genuinely, like, tries to, you know, make you believe that what you're looking at is where you are, you know what I mean? Whereas Battlefield, I really don't get that impression from their level design. Like, it does still feel more like a video game, and maybe that'll change with the new game, but I'm going to go in my next episode and take a look at Battlefield just to do a contrast and compare episode. But I just want you guys to, like, take it all in. Like, this is a randomly chosen map, nothing particularly special, you know, but just the graphics fidelity is very high, you know. The color saturation is also very nice, and I appreciate that about a video game. Like, my philosophy on video games is I play to have fun, so it doesn't really matter what things look like to me, as long as it's fun to play, you know? And lately Call of Duty games have been getting a lot of guff because they've been trying to do some new stuff, and I think it's like players are very resistant to change, right? So, like, I know when I was growing up, like, my favorite game was Counter-Strike, you know? I thought it was the best shooter ever. I thought it was going to be the game that I would play for the rest of my life, and, can't wait for the next Counter-Strike all the time kind of deal, right? But eventually I stopped playing PC games, and I had to come over and switch to console. And when that happened, then I had to start looking for other war games out there. I picked up some of the previous Calls of Duties, the previous Battlefields, liked them for what they were, but each one is going to obviously have its own audience. But eventually got to a point where it was like, okay, I've played enough of these World War II or Modern Warfare style shooters. I want to see something different. You know what I mean? I want to see something going into the future. I wasn't looking for light years into the future. I was just looking for hey guys, the Modern Warfare games were really cool, but even I know that right now the U.S. Army is working on making robots, army robots, and exo style suits. The Army is literally making that stuff and was testing it in the time period where these guys are making the games. So it was kind of if the Army is already working on trying to make this technology, what would it be like to imagine a Call of Duty where that stuff was fully realized? So, maybe a game 5-10 years in the future, with some really cool new stuff. I wasn't necessarily thinking that it was going to turn the game into sort of a bouncy jump shooter. But, people don't remember that before you had your fancy keyboard and mouse to control everything, a lot of games allowed you to actually do strafing. Strafe jumps or strafe hops, or you could just press on a button and your character would literally bend out for a second and then snap back to the position, or bend out to the other side and snap back to the position. So you could actually dodge a little bit of bullet fire, but a lot of people that play games have been used to this sort of Call of Duty thing. Now, the problem with... I wish I had actually gone back now and booted up Ghosts, because I would have been able to show you guys the problem much better. But the problem with the original Call of Duty series... I don't know how much longer I've got here. Okay, 4 minutes. We're still good. The problem with the original Call of Duty controls... Here's a perfect example. These corners here, right? Let's say that you had a camper sitting in this corner just watching the two doorways. In original Call of Duty control schemes, the only way to get this guy would be to come to this corner here. Sorry. And just making sure I'm not still crouching. Would be to come to this corner here and walk around and shoot him. Problem being that if he's already here crouched and aiming and happens to get you, you have no way to get him. You can't hop around the corner, because hopping in the old Call of Duty would make you less accurate. So the problem literally is if you try to rush him, the way that running worked in the old Call of Duty is that once you started running, you'd build up sort of a momentum. Then it becomes very hard to quickly turn on somebody. They've improved the controls a little bit here, but very much in Ghosts, your options for taking out a camper, especially somebody who's sitting in a corner sniping or using high-powered weapons, you really didn't have much of an option. And then, so to combat that, what they added to this game is the ability to strafe jump, so that you can break buddy's line of fire. So if he's aiming here, waiting for you to come around the corner, right, he's aiming at this spot here somewhere, right? So if I jump and strafe past that, he's aiming past me, I can actually come and pop him around the corner. So I actually like the fact that they've added that in the game. The problem, I think, for most players, though, is that they weren't actually comfortable with the way that the control scheme was done. Because what they don't realize is that running around in this game is not the fastest way to move around. Walking and running, this is no longer how you move. The way to move fast in this game is to slide and double jump and double dash. That is the fastest move you can do to get from one point to another. And if you can't do it, you're really not going to have as much of an ability to move around in this game. Some people made that leap and learned how to do it, but for the most part, most people didn't spend the time and said to themselves, "Oh man, this new jumping around and everything, man, it's so lame. You know, this isn't Call of Duty, man." And like, well, on one hand I can see that, and on another hand I can see how difficult it is to do these controls and move around quickly. It really makes the game more fun for me. And that's a personal, you know, thing, but I like being able to like strafe somebody right, like, you know, run into a guy who's coming around the corner this way, and I can instantly strafe out of his line of fire and strafe back. Like, there's a move in basketball, you know, where you cross somebody and you like, you know, they call it breaking the ankle or whatever. You can do that in this game. You can't do that in original COD. You can't. You know what I mean? I love fucking crossing people in this game. It's awesome. I would play this game till the end of time, unless maybe I buy Black Ops and I can do the same thing there. But that's a different story. Game's about to end. I'm going to come back. I'm just going to wait for it to end, and we'll come back in, talk a little bit more about it, but nothing major. Going to take a look at weapons. So, oh no, I lost against myself. Okay, so let's pick another map just for fun. Pick one of the original maps here. One of the good ones. Which one do I like the most? Yeah, they're all kind of... Let's go here. Actually, no, let's not go there, because my game glitches out every time I try to load that level, actually. That one's too dark. Let's go somewhere where it's brighter outside. Okay, that's fine. And good morning, Esperanza. Welcome to the stream. And yes, you are first. Woot! Okay, so doesn't matter what team we're on again. Start at the top and we'll work our way down. See how many we can get through. So the last two things I want to talk about before we finish up here, guys, is map design and weapon design, game design kind of stuff. So basically, guns in this game look amazing. They work amazing. You can hit somebody accurately with headshots at any distance on the map, depending on what weapon you're using, depending on how good your skill is. Like, I can pull off headshots at long range with a revolver hip firing, because I'm really good at doing that. But basically, I want you to, like, remember what the gun looks like. Remember, like, this is a basic gun. Basic detailing on the gun. This is not customized. This doesn't have cool skins. This is not a legendary version of a gun that has a cool skin already on it or anything. This is just what a gun looks like roughly in Call of Duty. Okay? Nothing too spectacular, but I want you to mentally record this and then go and compare it when we're starting to look at guns in Battlefield 4. Just gonna say that once again, the people out there that think that Battlefield 4's graphics or Battlefield's graphics are better than Call of Duty are kind of out of their damn minds. So I'm just gonna once again, let's respawn here. Let's change teams, because obviously that's gonna help. We already took a look at the weapon, but here's Oh, that doesn't... Okay, let's change team, Atlas. There we go, now we died. Okay. So, another basic gun. Just gonna take it out in the sunlight so you guys can get like a full-on view of what the gun looks like, shadowing, the shading on it as I turn around, all that kind of fun stuff. Looking down sights, just how good it looks. That's what I want you guys to remember, you know? Accuracy. You can literally hit stuff accurately with these guns. Things that are a little bit harder to do in Battlefield, in my opinion, but, you know. So the other thing I want to talk about really briefly as we look at the weapons is map design. Now, map design in Advanced Warfare, a little bit boring. I'm not going to lie. It's not for everybody. I would say that this style of map design appeals to the people who like their maps to be literal interpretations of where we would be fighting in the context of the story of the game. That's fine, you know what I mean? But if you're constantly having to build like airplane hangars and warehouses and, you know, industrial zones, your game is going to have a certain look to it. May not appeal to everyone. You know, it's industrial looking. That's cool for some people, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to appeal to a huge audience. Same thing with, like, looking forward, Infinite Warfare is going to probably have a lot of maps that look like something out of Star Trek or Star Wars, right? Like, you're going to have hallways with automatic doors, and, you know, everything's going to look like spaceships and the future and that kind of stuff. And that's can be cool in its own way, but if you contrast that with Black Ops 3, like, you have a map where you're at an amusement park and there's a giant frickin' pink octopus, you know, with its clutches around like a boat, and like it's very colorful and bright, and I actually really like that. And the experimentation that they did with Black Ops 3, because it looks good, it looks interesting, it probably appeals to more people. You know, somebody who doesn't like industrial zone kind of stuff might actually like running around in, you know, an ancient Japanese or Chinese temple kind of looking zone and stuff like that. Like, there's some really interesting maps in Black Ops 3, whereas I'm not going to defend necessarily the maps here, but they work, they're functional, they're fun to play on, they don't take long to learn. You have zones that are very well defended, like over here in the tunnel. If you're not such a good player, like a 3-lane hallway tunnel with little hiding spots, like here, you can hide, wait for people to run past you, or you can hide here, wait for people to run past you, and they usually like aren't paying enough attention. You can hide here. So like, it gives you some options for like places where that you can ambush enemies, do fun stuff, and if you keep running out here and getting sniped, right, you have somewhere back there where you can run around and have a little bit of fun and start to learn to play the game. Not so much with the Battlefield, but that's just, you know, my own humble opinion. Let's switch teams again here. We'll go back to Sentinel, pull out another weapon just to take a look at it. Let's do some, like, shooting and some reload animations, right? Like, you're never gonna have a gun that looks like this in a Battlefield game. I'm just sorry. Like, unless they go super future again and do Battlefield, was it 2143 or whatever it is? Like, you're never gonna get cool stuff like this. You're also never gonna get cool customization options for your character. Cool stuff to wear. Like, you know, there's Black Ops or Advanced Warfare has a gingerbread man suit, right? I want bunny slippers. I would be more likely to get bunny slippers in a Call of Duty game than I would ever be to get them in a Black Ops, or sorry, a Battlefield game, and that's actually okay with me. I actually don't mind that, because I actually like the way that Call of Duty plays. I like the hardcore first-person shooter, where you're just running and gunning, and the better you are at doing that, the more you can dominate the field, right? Whereas with Battlefield, that's more of a tactical shooter, and you're really having to wait and calculate what you're trying to do with your time. Like here's another gun that's interesting. Fire one shot, fire another one, and it blows up the first shot like a grenade. So you have like the grenade and the firing, the remote detonator on you, right? So you get used to firing double shots really quickly, right? That's a gun style that you're never gonna see in a Battlefield game. It's just not gonna happen. You know, the customization also, the things that you can put on these guns, I feel help you more in this game. It makes more of a difference to switch up what attachment equipment you have on a gun in Call of Duty than it does in Black Ops. And one last thing about maps, just really quickly before we get booted out again here, is that you can actually see from, you know, one part of a map to another. Like, if there was a guy running around in that little door down there, I would actually be able to see him without looking down sight, without, you know, anything, having to try, strain my eyes, anything like that. Where when we go and look at Battlefield, sorry, I keep the B named games. That's what's screwing me up. But when we go and look at it, it's like all of this area here that's like full of light and brightness in this game would be full of dust and haze in Black Ops, and Battlefield. Herp. But you get a little bit of it here. It's not too bad. You can see like the hazy kind of stuff, but that's like their art form. It's like the whole thing with Battlefield is like, we're gonna make the game as hazy as we possibly can because the haze equals grit, and grit equals a hardcore game. And it's like, I don't really so much subscribe to that theory, but that's just me. I like being able to see clearly around a map when I'm looking around on it. You know, it's a little bugbear that I have, but it's an important one. You know, I don't like straining my eyes, having hazy graphics, having not clean graphics. Like, the one thing I can say about the graphics in Call of Duty, they're clean. Nice, sharp lines, clean surfaces, like on my weapon, you know what I mean? Everything's well defined. My eyes aren't straining to make sense of what I'm looking at. Where, just wait, because everybody's like, oh man, but Battlefield's graphics are freaking awesome. We will see, guys. So, I'm gonna just wait for them to actually close here, and then I will give my closing thoughts. But that's it, just trying to show you the things that I like about Call of Duty, you know, and the things they've been doing in this game. Okay. So I'm going to go, like, I don't have to go into one more here, but I think I'm going to just for fun. Oh, why did I go back? Oh no, I went back to the same exact place. So herp derp. That's not as much fun. Yeah. We'll back out and we'll find another map, because Andrew's a big old derp. Should have just cut the episode right there, but, you know, for some reason, it's never good enough. Never good enough. Alright, let's leave the game. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. We've already seen this map. We can have it fresh in our minds for when we go and take a look at Battlefield. Okay. Game setup, maps. Let's find something else. Let's go back to bonus maps. I know what I want. Let's go to Drift, actually. Yeah. That's a nice map. Finish up on. One of the maps from DLC. which is another thing about Call of Duty. Good DLC. I feel like you get your money's worth for everything that comes with a Call of Duty game. You get the campaign, some of the zombies mode, usually a little bit of it to test it out, plus then you get DLC for maps, weapons, character skins, and oh gosh, what's the other thing? There's more. You get more out of your DLC experience, I feel, out of a Call of Duty game, but I know that could be just me. Let's go back. Sort of shown you one of each of the weapons so far. Let's just take out the crossbow for one more weapon that you might find something like this in Battlefield. That's true, but it's not going to work as well as the one in Call of Duty, where you can still hit something on the other side of the map with it. Just saying, just saying. But yeah, my closing comments here, guys, is just going to be that I get it. I get that if I was choosing a Battlefield game, I would be looking at larger game modes, being able to use vehicles. Like, there are some selling points that come along with that. And if I'm willing to put up with the parts that I don't like so much about Battlefield, yes, I could see how that could be potentially a fun experience. But for me, it's not as fun as running around in Call of Duty. I really do enjoy the small style maps that you can sort of learn your way around and then dominate on. And I know that somebody out there is going to be like, oh, well, you could do that in Battlefield too, man. I can, but it's not as good. You know what I mean? Like, this game, Call of Duty, is designed around doing that, period. And they do a really good job of it, and you get a lot of content for your money. And basically, if you are one of these players who maybe wasn't such a fan of the movement mode in Advanced Warfare, I can see that. The controls aren't the greatest, but I enjoy it. It makes sense in my brain. I like side dashing, all that kind of stuff. But if this isn't the game for you, but you still enjoy playing Call of Duty, then I want you to like ask yourself again, like, also, did you play Black Ops? Do you enjoy playing Black Ops? Is that something that appeals to you? The guns, the weapons. And if you haven't played Black Ops, please, I encourage you to go out and watch any video of Black Ops and try to tell me that either A, it doesn't look like a good game, or B, that it looks worse than the most recent couple of Battlefield games. Because if you think either of those things, I'm just going to tell you, you are delusional. Just saying. Just saying. And if you liked playing Black Ops 3, if you did enjoy it, despite the fact that you have wall running and, you know, character abilities and stuff like that, just think about that, where it's like, you like Call of Duty, you like what Call of Duty does, you may not like the futuristic aspect of things, but you still like what that game does. There are a lot of people that, like, I'm seeing in comment sections of videos saying, like, oh, I've never really played a Battlefield game before, but I guess this is going to be the first year for me. Because they think that, you know, Battlefield, Call of Duty, they're first-person shooters, there's an automatic one-to-one comparison to be made there, and I'm going to just say that it's not true. You know, apples and oranges are fruit, you know what I mean? But they're definitely not the same kind of fruit, you know what I mean? And it's the same kind of thing with trying to compare some of the aspects of Call of Duty and Battlefield. They're not the same game. You're not going to get this type of gameplay, this speedy, moving around, jumping around, super powered, punching people out and stuff like that, where, like, you know, I go to melee somebody in Call of Duty, if I hit them with it, they die. if you go and try to melee somebody in Battlefield, they might turn it around on you, and you might end up skewered on your own knife. Some people think that that's fun. I'm just gonna say that, like, you know, if I get to the knife first, I'm just saying. But, just, you know, those are just my closing sort of thoughts on the game. Oh, here we go. It's not Levolution, but this is Call of Duty's version of an environment change halfway through. And so what does that do? It covers everything in snow. So it completely changes what this side of the map plays like now. It's no longer a place that's full of cover that you can, like, go in and hide. It's a little bit easier to see you, so it changes how you're going to have to play. It's little things like that where it's like, yeah, maybe I'm not shooting down a whole building or something like that, but it's going to affect the way that we're playing the map and stuff like that. And I can't wait to see what a Call of Duty game in space is going to be like, and I hope that you guys, you know, take a look at it, see what you think. You know, I'm making the best case that I can here, guys. And I know that some people are going to think that I'm crazy, but, you know, there's only so much you can do to convince people of something that they don't want to believe. But, you know, just soak it all in, guys. Like, this is what level design looks like in a Call of Duty game. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna get this. You're not in a Battlefield game. You know? It doesn't have a nice, like, window dressing the way that Call of Duty does. And, like, if you just, like, stack it all together, I'm using up the last 3 minutes that I got here, guys. But, stack it all up together. Better looking gun skins, better working weapons, better looking maps, better playing maps, a more involved play style where you actually have to be, you know, running all cylinders at all times. It's actually challenging, but at the same time, like, if you're not good at Call of Duty, you put in some hard work of, like, you know, learning the map, learning how to read the radar, and getting good with your gun, and you're going to actually start to see progress. You're going to start to see improvement in your gameplay. You're going to start being able to peg off those guys who are trying to sneak up around you or rush you and stuff like that, and you're going to get some satisfaction out of that. Battlefield, even at the best of times, the guns don't work the best. You can, like, line up headshots and dudes will just run through that stuff, or you'll line up body shots on a guy and by the time you've pulled the trigger he's already moved, and, like, it's less satisfying. Where, like, Call of Duty, it encourages you to either camp or run around like a crazy Rambo mad person and kill everybody. Battlefield kind of really just encourages you to sit on a corner and wait for somebody to run past you and snipe, and, you know, it's a slower playing game. You're going to be, instead of being able to rush the enemy and, you know, run headfirst into the hornet's nest and blow them all away, which you can do in Call of Duty, that kind of gameplay is really discouraged in Battlefield. And, like, I don't want a game that's telling me to slow down, if you know what I mean. I want, you know, always on, all the time, Energizer Bunny, jumping around like a crazy mad person, and literally blowing people away. And getting, like, gameplay out of it that, like, feels, not only feels amazing, but amazing to, you know, be able to complete, but also to, it feels satisfying. You know? We get headshots in this game, people go down, you know what I mean? So, that's the best case that I can really make, guys. Closing arguments here for my last minute. But yeah, I think that I've made the biggest case that I can. The amount that you get out of this game, the amount of work they put into it, you're getting multiple modes, you're getting full character customization with crazy costumes, you're getting maps that actually look amazing, you know, that somebody's put time into decorating, you know? Like, you got snow falling off the roof of the building and collecting at the bottom and stuff, guys. Like, you know, those are the things I like about Call of Duty, and those are the reasons why I'm going to be looking at Infinite Warfare for the fall, or for the winter, you know, when it comes out in November. It's like, that's... despite what, you know, Battlefield may be able to throw at us, I don't think it's ever going to touch what Call of Duty does. Call of Duty is still king, in my opinion, and there's a nice big Christmas tree for you guys to see at the end there. Let's blow it up. No, we can't blow it up, but you know what I mean. Woot!
Stand down, Central.
Alright, I'll relax. We'll back out here. Just wait for it to get back to the main menu. I'll check your comments here. Good morning, Mike. Sorry, Esperanza, that you had to go to school, but it's a good thing to do. Education is an important thing. And, yes, Apple, I can't wait for a futuristic COD. I really can't. Although, let me be 100% clear here. I don't have a problem with a futuristic COD. Do I think that they necessarily needed to do a trilogy of futuristic games back to back to back? No. You know, I think they could stagger it. Maybe once every 3 years, do a futuristic game. Like do a cycle where you do one old school, so like World War I, World War II, Civil War, Revolutionary War, something in the past. Do past games. Then do a cycle of modern warfare with current weapons and current technology and stuff like that. And then do every third year, do a futuristic one where you're going back and you're getting your exosuits and you're, you know, doing all this kind of stuff. And just let the players decide, like, which games they like, which games they want to play from the series or whatever. Ultimately, if you have to take off a year because you don't like modern warfare, you don't like futuristic warfare, you don't like, you know, warfare in the past, that ultimately it's not going to like hurt you too much because you're not having to wait too long for the next game to come out. So I wouldn't have had a problem if they had gone back and done an older school style COD, except we're getting COD 4 remastered. Everybody thinks that that's the best COD has ever been, so it's kind of like, at the same time, I'm okay with what they did right now, but I can see where, you know, some people may be a little bit frustrated with the 3-year cycle of all futuristic games, and, you know, I hear that, you know. I think they had the idea in mind, like, let's do a trilogy, and we're seeing the final element of that now, and people are getting all confused because they're like, how dare you do 3 things in a row that are not what I wanted them to be. And, you know, I think that what you've seen with that as well is a huge insurgence of new blood into Call of Duty. Before Call of Duty did this stuff, it was kind of dying. You know, people were looking at other games already, being like, you know, where can I get a different experience? And Call of Duty did some interesting stuff. And, like, I think literally there are more people that never played Call of Duty before that have turned and are like, you know what, this is actually pretty interesting. You know, I think Black Ops 3 especially, I think there's, like, more female gamers who are playing Black Ops 3 than there has been for any COD previously, and that's a big thing, you know, and keeping those audiences happy. Like, you know, the female gaming audience that likes Black Ops 3 for its colors, its characters, abilities, the weapons, and all that stuff, may not like going back to World War II, where it's all dudes and, you know what I mean, grunt work and infantry and that kind of stuff, and, you know, that aesthetic again. I know that there's a large group of the audience that's obviously going to appeal to, but I think that it's like Call of Duty is really trying their best to sort of walk that fine line between, like, appealing to all audiences. Maybe they're not going to then appeal to one specific niche audience over another, but I think that's better for the game in the long run, my humble opinion. You know what I mean? It's like, I think the game is at its best in a game like Black Ops 3, and that's just my opinion, you know? So, thank you for coming to joining me on this one today, guys. But this has been the Call of Duty non-traversy episode here on Dark Ninja Gaming, where we took a look at Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and we had some fun. You know, took a look at most of the aspects of the game that, you know, I wanted you guys to have fresh in your mind, because next I am going to be going over to Battlefield 4, and we're going to take a look at that game, and I'm going to tell you about all the things that I don't like about Battlefield, which I know you guys can't wait to hear. So, I'm going to sign out here, guys. It'll take a few minutes for me to set that up, but I'm going to come back in just a few with some Battlefield 4 gameplay for you guys to check out. So, just give me a minute and I will be right back. But thank you to everybody for coming and checking out this episode. If you did like, you know, me and my strange ramblings, please, you know, feel free to subscribe or click the like button. It does help us out. It gets these videos noticed, which in the sea of Call of Duty and Black Ops and Battlefield videos out there, we are but a drop in the ocean. But any help would be appreciated to just get stuff like this out there to a wider audience. I do appreciate that. So thank you guys, and I will be right back with Battlefield 4. So see you guys. Woo!